Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Preserving History and Democracy.
We are excited to have you here, and this episode is about Hiram Hadley. And while the name may sound familiar to those who live here in Las Cruces, very few might know the story behind the name.
That's right. Here in Doña Ana County, there are many streets named after influential people who in many ways made our county what it is today. But some names we see repeatedly, like Hadley Road, Hadley Hall on NMSU campus, and Hadley Park.
And over time, the streets and the parks just become words and hold no emotion or history for the person after whom they were named. So today we look at who was Hiram Hadley and how has he influenced our community.
One of the standout features of our county is the NMSU campus here in Las Cruces. It's currently about 900 acres and has a student body of over 21,000. Its humble beginnings started with a great vision from Hiram Hadley.
Okay, raised by Quaker parents in Illinois, Hadley studied and excelled at Haverford Quaker College in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His career teemed with a strong background in education. He was a school book salesman, a teacher, a school principal, and a leader in education.
In 1887, he arrived in Las Cruces by train, planning to start a business in the area and to help his son who was living here. But his passion for education would not be quieted. He began to vocalize the community about possibilities of bettering the education system here, which was pretty non-existent at the time. And in a previous episode, we actually talked about the trains and how the railroad system here in Las Cruces kind of brought so many opportunities. So he was one of those opportunities, I guess. How cool.
And talking about future episodes, it said his son was ill.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And that's why he came here to Las Cruces to help his ill son. And I'm wondering, you know, I'm working on a podcast, little plug for the next
sneak
one.
Peek.
Yeah, sneak peek. It's about Dripping Springs and the sanitarium up there.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if his son, like so many at the time, had TB, you know, if it was something that he had to help him with, because that was a tough disease right around that time.
Right. That might be interesting to look into.
The population of approximately 2,000 had little means of obtaining an education, so Hadley spearheaded the task with some other colleagues who shared his vision. Among them are several familiar names such as George Bowman, John McPhee, Samuel Steele, and William Reinerson. In 1 year, by 1887, they had formed the College of Las Cruces, and Hadley was rewarded with being the president of the college. It was only 35 students to start and 6 faculty members. Now, newspapers advertised the college as early as 1888, promoting its tuition-free options for elementary, college prep, and business school, as seen in the Rio Grande newspaper. And I've got that.
Cool.
The Rio Grande newspaper and the East Las Vegas Optic both had advertisements for Las Cruces College, and big letters here, tuition free, which had to be such an opportunity for the folks here who had no opportunity for education.
And I wish college was still tuition free. I'm still paying off those student loans, so
I'm sorry.
darn, it's okay. But it's pretty cool hearing about how NMSU kind of came to be. I've always wondered. I went there myself, so I think it's pretty cool to hear.
And it's so big now.
It's a beautiful
to 35
campus.
Students.
Absolutely, and I think I actually had some classes in Hadley Hall. So, and
very
I've always
good.
wondered what was the story behind the name. Just like many other buildings there. We talked about Clarabelle Williams as well. There's a building named after her. And these other names sounded familiar as well. You said you mentioned Samuel Steele. I think there's a Steele Road on NMSU.
Right.
McPhee Hall is also a hall, I believe. So pretty cool. And George Bowman, I wonder if he's related to some NMSU people as well that are still pretty prominent there. So pretty cool.
Samuel Steele has a sad little story there.
Oh my gosh, you're going to have to tell me about that. Well, I guess I'm going to tell you about it. As a side note, one of the colleges of Las Cruces' first students, Samuel Steele, had greatly assisted Hadley with the founding of the college, and he was scheduled to be the first graduate, but sadly, he was murdered during a botched robbery just before his graduation. How sad.
I know.
Oh my gosh, he was about to graduate.
And be the first graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad.
Terrible.
I didn't know that story, and now wow.
Yeah, it's striking. Anyway, the College of Las Cruces was unlike the colleges that exist today. This college included an elementary school, a university preparatory, and a business school. Hiram Hadley did more than founding the school and serving as president. He was also a respected teacher of, I believe, philosophy and history there.
Okay, so was he was a teacher before, right? Was he specifically a professor? Was he?
I'm not sure that it just kind of said he excelled at education, and I know he was a principal,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure the subject areas he taught at that time.
Okay. Well, in 1889, the governor of the state of New Mexico signed the Morrill Act, which established the New Mexico College of Agriculture and Mechanical Arts as the state's agricultural college and experiment station located here in Las Cruces. The College of Las Cruces merged into New Mexico College of Agriculture and Mechanical Arts. Again, Hadley was named president of the new institution. He served as president for several years and later as vice president while he continued to teach philosophy and history.
So, what do we find in our research regarding Hiram Hadley and the educational facilities in which he played such an immense role? Well, we do have an older plat, and Jacob, you'll put that up for us. It's from 1912, showing the expansion of the college. It was named the Hadley College Edition. It was off El Paseo and Mountain Road in Mesilla Park. And Mr. Hadley's signature can be found at the bottom of this document. You can take a closer look there, zoom in on it.
How cool. Well, the New Mexico College of Agriculture and Mechanical Arts stepped up in times of need. During World War I, the College of Agriculture offered assistance with growing food and caring for livestock due to the shortages that were rampant. They also supported farmers with consultations on seeds, pest control, and marketing. They became an invaluable tool for Doña Ana County farmers and ranchers.
And post-World War II, the 1950s was a great decade of development, with an abundance of warranty deeds displaying land transfers to the college. This included great tracts of land in all directions, increasing the size of the New Mexico College of Agriculture and Mechanical Arts. In 1960, the college changed its name to New Mexico State University, as it remains today. NMSU currently has over 180 degree programs, including 96 bachelor degrees, 58 master's, and 29 doctoral degree programs, and it all started with Hiram Hadley.
Hiram Hadley remains a presence in our community, be through street names, parks on NMSU, and he died at the age of 90 and is fondly remembered as the father of education for Mesilla and Doña Ana County. So now when you see Hadley on a building, on a campus, or at a nearby park, you will know the man behind the name. Pretty cool. I didn't know, like I said, I was an NMSU student, had no idea why Hadley was such an important name, and now I understand. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty amazing when the street names just become a street name, and then you find out a little history. Sometimes when I'm looking at topics to do in this podcast, I look at the street names carefully, do a little research, and see if it's something we want to investigate deeper.
Right.
You know, Samuel Steele, like you said, had the street name over there.
Right.
And I know that that had to be so tough.
Yeah.
You're getting ready for your first graduation,
Yeah.
and your student is murdered.
How sad.
And there's some question about whether it was a robbery or not. But
Okay.
it's claimed to be a botched robbery. Very sad. He was a young man with a lot of passion for education also.
Yeah. I think NMSU is such a big campus, and you don't think about how it begun. It began as such a small little, kind of just a little building probably and now it's expanded, like you said, so many buildings, so many degree programs, and I think it's a wonderful college. And I think when I was trying to figure out where to go to college, NMSU was not my first choice.
It wasn't?
Because I wanted to get out of Las Cruces, you know?
Okay.
But I'm so proud I went there, and it's such an amazing college and so many amazing faculty members, and it's pretty cool to see how it all started.
Well, my daughter went and got her degree, her master's degree in biology or wildlife. I'm not too sure.
Something cool.
Something really cool. Yay, she just got her first job.
Yay, it's awesome.
But, you know, she was a student here, and it was a tough program.
Yeah.
It was a really tough program. That's how I was introduced to this city. She needed some help with her dog while she went on field work. So I came out and watched the dog and fell in love with the city, and here I am.
You're a proud Aggie mom too then.
I am too,
Good.
yes. But anyway, I have the plat of the subdivision that was added in his honor, in his name. We'll take a closer look at that. Thanks, Jacob. And the advertisements I showed you, and just I put a Post-it note on these, a bunch of warranty deeds that had to do with that great expansion period in the 1950s.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool hearing too how our school NMSU was kind of part of helping during World War I and World War II as well. So
Right.
pretty crazy.
When you
stuff
think
right
about
there.
the men that were no longer available to do the farming, and
Absolutely.
the help that would have been needed, and I just think it's really cool that it's still helping to this day.
Yeah.
With programs and whatnot.
Well, there's all these agricultural programs here
That's right.
at NMSU now, and I'm wondering if that's how it kind of came to be, because it seemed
Right.
like
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, if you wanted to learn how to market for sales for your product,
Right.
you could go to them, as well as just seed propagation. You could go to them.
Now the famous chili seed that
That's
was also
right.
kind of started by, I believe, an NMSU student
That's
as well.
right.
Right. So
That's right. So
pretty crazy
what
stuff.
a university, and it wouldn't have been without Hiram Hadley.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
what an awesome story. You always bring awesome stories to the table.
Thank you.
So I appreciate
Yeah.
it, Bert.
Well, that does it for this episode of Preserving History and Democracy.
This episode is hosted and produced by myself, Communications Coordinator Cynthia Mendoza, and hosted and produced by Bernardine Caporale. This is also edited by Jacob Slaughter behind the camera. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email us at daclerk@donianacounty.org. We'll see you next time.
Bye.